I think if everyone was ready, we'd get going with you, Carrie.
David, first of all, how important was that to get the win under your belt last weekend? Can that really kick you on now to get a big run?
Yeah, I think, as I said after the game, everything I spoke about before the game, I definitely got the reaction, the way we wanted to play, and then almost that complete performance, clean sheet, 4 goals at home, really good. And it is now about building on that. I think I said that going into the international break, having to use it as a bit of a reset and making sure that there's no excuses now. We need to move forward. We need to make sure that we start putting wins on the board. So it was really good to start with 3 points at home. And then now it's all obviously geared up towards a real tough test on Sunday, but a really good game to look forward to. 2 teams that obviously we just off the back of a win. They've won a couple of games themselves, so not Scotland making it a good game.
Could you feel a sense of relief, maybe leave the players after getting that win? Albeit you've only lost 1 game this season, but to get that convincing win done?
Yeah, I think it's probably a bit of both. It's easy to say once it happens that I think it's been coming, because I do think the level of performance has been good. We've spoke a lot about the chances we've created, but not maybe taking the chances and missing up on opportunities and not killing games off. And I think obviously it was really pleasing to see that. It gives the players confidence and belief. But internally, no, there has always been that belief. I see it every day in training. It's easy, again, to say that off the back of a result, but it's about making sure you keep working hard on the things that you're doing and believing in what you're doing, and more demonstrating to players why we would. This sort of result was coming, and it's just great to finally get it done, and then they can look forward to, as I've just said, a really good one on Sunday.
The league table were early days in the season, but the league table is ever changing. As a manager, or having been in a coaching position, is this maybe one of the more stranger starts to a season you've saw?
It's hard to say, really. I don't think I've had much of a stranger start for me than last season, to be honest. But no, I think the league is what it is. I think a few managers, I've heard them comment on it as well. I think it's improving all the time. I think when you look at all the teams that are in it, there's a lot of teams have added a lot of athletes into their group. I think it's getting better all the time. So there's no easy games. It's hard to win games of football. Everyone's seeing that. You look at how well Dundee done against Celtic. It's deserving of their win at the weekend. So every game's hard. Every game's hard to win. It's hard to win games of football at any level, but especially this season, it's going to be, as pretty much every year, really, really tight. And it is about trying to put a wee run together when you can.
And you just touched on it there, but what sort of threat do you expect Aberdeen to pose this weekend?
Yeah, they've obviously got a very good squad, so I know they've got the game Thursday night. We'll look forward to watching that with one eye. We want them to do well. You want your Scottish clubs to do well in Europe, but one eye on obviously us going up there on Sunday. But they've developed a really strong squad, a lot of quality in the team. It's starting to click a little bit now as well, which you can see. Knowing they had Europe, we're winning the Cup last season, they were able to prepare for that. So they've got a really good, strong squad. So it will be a difficult game, but as I've already demonstrated, and we've demonstrated at times this season, we know we're a good side. Take the confidence from the weekend and go up there to try and come back with 3 points.
You touched on it, last season, David. You're the opposite number at Aberdeen that goes through something similar this year. As you say, it's beginning to click. Does that just show, or maybe highlight to the kind of chairman that the benefits of sticking with somebody? If you trust the process, you trust the manager, that you see it all the time that managers are chopping and changing, but if you actually just stick with the guy and trust the process, that good things will come. Yeah,
well, I think it's as long as you're able to demonstrate why you believe it can change. Or the biggest thing for me, and I can only speak from my own personal experience within that, and it is that the players are the most important people at the club, and they're the ones that I never ever felt like during that adversity with me that I felt like I'd lost the players at all. I didn't feel like they were running for me or working for me. And I think that was always the key indicator for me that kept me going, kept me being able to demonstrate to the board why I believed given the time it would change. And we've obviously got the benefits from that last season. It does take time, but the flip side to that, every manager takes the job nowadays knowing that it's all about results. It's all about making sure you win games of football. That's your job to do that. So you're well aware of what you sign up to. Now, clearly we'd all want more time, because given more time you've got an opportunity to change things, and it isn't always plain sailing. It's difficult. There's always factors that every manager goes through, whether that be injuries, whether it be just lack of form, whatever it might be. And the more time you've got, the more chance you've got of actually putting something in place, clearly. But we all know what we sign up to, and that's probably why we all enjoy the thrill of it as well.
You mentioned watching Aberdeen tomorrow night. You've obviously gone through that yourself. Just how difficult is it to play in Europe and then refocus yourself and reset for the weekend?
It can be difficult, but I think a lot of that comes down to your level of performance. So they'll take a lot of confidence from the result and performance winning at St Mirren. Real difficult place to go and win, going and winning there. And then these are the games that, the rewards for winning the cup last season gives them opportunity to play in Europe. We've experienced that this year, how good the European nights are, how good they are for the group and the togetherness within it. So we can look at it from that point of view as well. And I'm sure they'll do everything they can to make sure they recover in time to face us. But we obviously look at it as an opportunity to build on what we've been doing. So it's got the makings of a good game, two good teams, a lot of good individuals on the pitch. As I've already said, we'll try to concentrate on how we can keep improving.
Looking at Aberdeen from the outside, what do you like about Jimmy Teelan's style of play? What's the thing that you go, well, I'm impressed with that?
Yeah, they've got a lot of key qualities. I think you can see that all over the pitch. I think they invested well this season as well. A couple of really creative players, pocket players that really can hurt you, but they've also got pace. These teams are always very good on transition. You need to be aware of that all the time. Kevin Nisbet, centre forward, know him well, know what he can bring, the threat he is at this level. So regardless of whatever 11 they put out on the pitch, it's going to be a strong squad, going to be a strong team, and he's had success since he's been here. First year in Scottish football last year, done well, won the cup. So as a result of that, he's been there a while now, that he'll have his style implemented, and it's about making sure that we've got a game plan ready to deal with that, knowing what we're going to expect, or at least try to prepare the players as best you can. But we're going there to try and win the game, that's for sure.
But when you get goals at the weekend like that, what does that do for not just the guys that scored them, but the guys who've been working hard all season to create chances, maybe not seeing them put away?
Yeah, I think classic example of that's Junior probably coming on, scoring 2 goals. The one he scores for the second one especially, the finish for Cads, he has one very similar against Kilmarnock that hits the bar. So I think it does every player confidence levels go up when you score goals, and I think even Chris Cadden, his delivery at the weekend was fantastic. He's worked really hard in training, doing extra in training to make sure the quality's always there. He's always had it. Just to make sure that comes out, and I think he gets his rewards for that the weekend. Couple of assists, could have had another one, and that does do all the players the world of good confidence wise. But also I think it shows the strength and depth. We're able to leave out Martin Boyle from the start, still score 4 goals at home. It was really positive. Boyle got on, added to that, subs coming on and impacting the game in a positive way. Junior doing that. Still got Rudy Molotnikov, Josh Campbell, Ellie Johan's another week down the line, fitness-wise as well. So we have got real strength and depth in that forward areas. Different ways of playing, different players will give me different things at different times, which is a really key strength to have, and I think a good selection headache to have moving into the weekend.
Obviously got guys coming back now as well, Joel, obviously kind of progressing, like Table's had that time to settle as well now. You mentioned, you mentioned that selection headache. This is, I suppose, kind of first time of the season when you've had that kind of real issue with personnel.
I think it's probably, I've had it quite a lot, to be honest. I think every week you look at players at this weekend. I think the Livingston game was maybe 5 or 6 players, maybe new players from this season in the starting 11, players who were massive part of what we're still doing here and were last season, like Rocky Bashiri, Jordan Abita, weren't in the starting 11 this week, but give you the selection headache every single week. They give you completely different things. So I've got that all the time. It probably feels now though that all over the pitch we're getting a lot stronger. So just numbers, purely on numbers. We've only really got Joe Neal's another week closer, but probably still not going to be available this weekend. But it's only Alisana who's not fully available apart from that. So that shows you, whether that is 24 players, outfield players, so, and every single player will feel like they're good enough to be playing in the team, and rightly so. And I think that's a real good place to be.
Is that a new, but is that something again that you have to be aware of as well as a manager, try to keep them everyone happy, keep everyone's spirits up when they're not playing?
Yeah, I think that's always a challenge. I think it's the biggest part of not just my job, but the staff in general. The players that play are always happy because you've played. The ones that haven't played, making sure that you're still trying to improve them every single day. I think especially early on in the week, if they've not played, it can be frustrating if you've not played. Everyone wants to play, but if you can feel like you're really concentrating on these players that haven't played, making sure you're still improving them every single time, making sure their fitness levels are good, but individually doing things with them to make sure that when they get their opportunity, they're ready to go as well. And I think that's something that as a staff, we really try and focus on, especially early on in the week. And as I've just said, the numbers we've got, the competition we've got, it is a real strong squad at the minute. But what that does do is it's a real healthy environment for everyone, and I have changed and won't just keep the same team just because it wins every week. It is very much picking a team that we think gives us the best chance on the day.
You mentioned Joe, anyone else fit? Well, is everyone else fit
Everyone else is fit, yeah. So Jamie came off, and it was just more of a knock more than anything else, but probably in my mind at that stage of the game for changes anyway. Miguel got on the pitch, so he got, whatever that was, 15-20 minutes. I think he was maybe more than that. So added to him having been out, he was one of the ones that were, Jamie and Miguel were the only two really that had knocks and niggles over the international break. So they're both back, and everybody else. The only one, as I say, is Alessandro, who's getting closer all the time, which is good to see him back in the grass. He should join the group probably back end of next week, probably. But I know it's a bit of a midweek game, so what we'll do next week will probably be slightly reduced. But he'll add the group in some capacity next week, which is good for him as well.
You're saying Joe's not quite, but as it gets to that point now where he's very, because that's as close as he's been, I take it.
Yeah, it is. It's he's had, what's he had now? Probably nearly 2 weeks of training. But he's also had, this has been the first week really where there's been no real restrictions on him, so we've not been looking after him at all. It has, I say looking after him, but what I mean by that is he's just full training. So there's not a strong onus from the physio department saying you can't do this and we can look after him in that sort of situation. So it is very much full throttle for him. But as a result of that, he's probably feeling all of his body at the minute, just with the fact that he's been out for so long. His actual injury feels good and strong, which is positive. It is just about getting that volume into him now at that intensity that we've been training at, because when you've been out for a while, it's quite hard to catch that up. So we need to keep working hard with him. But he's looking better. He felt as good as he's felt today, which is a real positive. And then he's obviously got tomorrow as well. So he's in a good place and he's going in the right direction, which is positive.
Thanks, Dave.
Cheers.